Good afternoon. This is Neil with Simple Futures, Wednesday midweek market update. One day in front of the most meaningful part of the week this week, CPI. Tomorrow morning, Thursday morning at 7:30 Chicago time, 8:30 Eastern. We did get the PPI and Fed minutes today, and the PPI came in hot, came in greater than expected, which to me indicates the likelihood of higher CPI. With producer prices being higher, it's hard to imagine how consumer prices are not, because producers are paying more but selling for less, than they're losing money, obviously. So it's an indication to me that we're looking at still, some higher CPI numbers. But I don't know that. We don't know that. Nobody knows that. We're going to see tomorrow morning what that is, and it's important that you know that that is ahead of us, and that's tomorrow morning at 7:30. So I think that looking at this price action, it tells us too, very much like last week. Remember last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was very much like this, just sideways like this. The number here for this week, the balance point of control for this week is 36.25, 24.25, and that's kind of the over-under here. And the question is, are you looking higher or lower? I'm looking lower, but that doesn't mean I'm right, but I'm looking lower. My target's going to be 35.20 and 34.80 in the ES, December futures pricing, not SPX, but futures ES. Since I was with you last time, we were together here on this Monday, and you can see this 36 kind of 50s up here. Remember that was balance about 2 weeks ago, 36.54.5. That was balance, and that's so far kind of the high of the week here. We came in, that was the high yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And then there was some news midday here that had this thing break in a meaningful way midday. It can't move. It just can't move. Look, it tried higher yesterday. This is 35.80 by 36.50. That reverses all the way back to 35.80. This is up and back 70. It can't move. It tries, back here. It was too high, came in, it's sideways. That tries lower, tries higher, tries lower. Today is absolutely nothing but sideways. If anything, you could argue slightly that maybe it's sideways to a little bit lower, but it's really balanced here, waiting for the meaningful piece of this puzzle, and that is tomorrow. So what's it going to be? I don't know. Nobody knows. But you can know that this pricing, the market, the valuations here are speaking to us and telling us clearly one thing, and that is that higher inflation is being received as bearish here in terms of pricing in the market. I believe, as I mentioned, earlier this week, you can watch the bonds for this information. It'll show in the way of lower bond prices is lower market. Lower bonds is higher rates, and lower bonds is lower equities. And so look at the bonds, watch the bonds. They're going to tell you which way it's going. Lower bonds is, showing higher rate and potential for higher rates, and it'll show up in the Fed watch tool on the CME's website as over under plus or minus 80% is what it is right now, 80.81. So there's your mark for that's what's priced in right now for a 3/4 point rate adjustment on November the 2nd. If the bonds are breaking, then that number is going higher. And I can tell you, if that number is going higher, this market's going lower. So if the bonds are breaking, then this market's going lower. If the bonds are rallying, this is going to rally with it. That's one way you can keep an eye on it. And where you can go to check your math, so to speak, right? Go to the CME's website, cmegroup.com, check the Fed Watch tool, reference the 80% mark as the November 2nd for a 3/4 point rate adjustment. The balance of 20% is showing 50 basis. So it's going to be 50 or 75. The question is how high of a probability is the market pricing in that it's going to be more and not less, right? And look, this is really tightly wound. I can't stress enough how tightly wound this is. This is a market that did not even trade outside of its initial balance today. You never see this. This is as tight a trade as you'll ever see. It's just it's amazing, actually, how often you'll see this thing fail to trade outside of the top or bottom, one or the other, of this first hour's range. And it did not do that today. And that's remarkable in and of itself. That is how absolutely tightly wound this thing is. And it's perfectly silent, waiting for you know what. And you know when. And you know what to look for. And that's about the best that we can do, right? If it does trade higher, it's going to be looking for 36.80 and possibly 36.94 on the top. 36.80 is weekly pivot. 36.94 is the value area high of last Friday, and it cannot exceed that, and bears maintain a foothold here. In my opinion, it cannot go past that, because once you get past last Friday's high, then you're in the gap and you're up on that 3-day balance, that 3-day island top from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of last week. And that takes it all the way up into like 3,800. So it simply cannot go past the 36.94, and realistically, I really don't even want to see it above the weekly pivot 36.80. That's if it's trading higher. 36.25 is your over-under in here, because that's the balance over-under point of control for the week. And targets lower against that level, lean long above, short below, but that's the over-under right there. Targets below. I'm going to be targeting 35.20 and 34.80, and those are my bearish targets. And that's my lean, and that's my direction, and that is my trade, and I do have these trades on, and got them on in several ways with put flies in the SPX, as well as just flat out short NASDAQ. So, we'll see. We got an idea, we got a trade, we got a direction, and now it's up to the market to give us the rest. And that is the answer. Okay? Best I could do. Hope it helps. Good trading. Let me know in the comments section what you think. What's your lean? What are your thoughts? Maybe what else you want to look at too. I really do not feel like I can help you with crude oil right now. Probably nat gas, yes. Crude, no. But there are some other things that I've got my eyes on, not just this S&P. This is just kind of a broad market look, and the reason that we look at this when I do the videos anyway, because as so goes this S&P, I can tell you that's exactly what's going to happen with the NASDAQ, Dow, and Russell and everything else. It's not like this is going one direction and everything else is going the other, right? So that's what I got. Good trade, nice evening. Be with you again at the next update. Give me some shout in the comments, maybe a thumbs up if you like what we're doing, and you can always subscribe and follow. Hit that bell icon down there. It'll alert you as to when the next time we drop a video on this channel, so that you won't miss anything as well. Good night.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency. It's one of the things that won me